Hey, what's up, everybody? All right, let's wait till a few more people join in. Um, yeah, it's the only thing I don't like about the camera on the Pixelbook Go is the white balance kind of goes off. It goes in, it goes out, goes bright, goes dark. So bear with me on that here. But anyways, I was gonna go live last night. I ended up just having some things to do, and so I just wasn't able to. So that's the reason why I'm going live right now, um, is to give a final thought to this whole thing with first again, yeah. To this, to give a final thought to this whole thing regarding the cyber attack and Dish as an entire, and just kind of like clear some things up. It's just, I mean, there's some things being said, and those are those are true. Those are I guess you could say as accurate. And then there's just a lot of other stuff being tossed around that's just like pure speculation formulated into what they would say is you know facts when it's not. What's up, Michael? Welcome in. Brian, welcome in. What's up, man? Yeah, so I figured, just in one live stream, final rant, Dish boost, cyber attack, and just to kind of put a lot of that stuff, like, okay, it is what it is, right? Mark, welcome in. Good afternoon to you too. And then also I'm going to talk about Magic Eraser for non-pixels. I just posted a shorts, and it just shows that it works. I did the demo using the Samsung Galaxy A53. So that's a non-pixel device. So yeah, and I think it's a good thing that non-pixels have this feature for everyone to use on the Android side. I mean, it helps out. It really does. The Magic Eraser, besides the fact that it's cool to show people you could do it, it's a cool feature in itself that when I want to take photos, especially, like if I'm doing stuff with my family and I want to capture the moment, I don't have to wait for people in the back to get out the way or for them to notice I'm going to take a picture of my family and then for them to be like, okay, let's move, I just take that photo. I'll just erase everybody that's in the background out of so it's nice, it's nice to know that we have that feature and it's a non-pixel devices. So requirements for that, basically, you just have to be a Google One subscriber, right? That's it. If you subscribe to Google One, whether it's the 100 GB cloud or it's the 2 TB plan, whichever you choose, doesn't matter. You don't have to choose like the highest tier plan, like how the Google VPN works. With Google VPN, it's free, but you have to be on like the highest tier of Google One subscription in order to use the VPN. Where on this case, it's not. So that's good. Big ups on that. I thought I would just kind of like talk about that just for a second, kind of allow more notifications to go out. We're only like 3 minutes into the live stream, and yeah, if you guys wouldn't mind, to help out, share it, so that way other people know that I'm live right now. And if they want to come join in and listen, that's great. About to get started here in another 20 seconds or so. The white balance is going to go in and out because this camera on the Pixelbook Go is very finicky. That's probably one thing that I don't like about the laptop is the camera. Comcast had a website outage yesterday for billing payments, customers' accounts. Okay. Seems like a lot of stuff happening, outages lately. Yeah. Well, I mean, so it's been put on notice that there is a group of people who are targeting major companies and causing issues like this, like hijacking their systems and holding it for ransom and all this other stuff. This type of situation has happened once before. I want to say it was like way back. I want to say 2018 or 2019 this happened before, and it's happening again here in 2023. So so like the things to really just kind of understand right now, Dish Boost is not running at full capacity, and I emphasize that because shout outs to those in the community group on Facebook. A lot of them are reporting, the app is working for them. Some are saying the app is not working for them. Some are still waiting to kind of activate their new line, but they're not sure if they want to go ahead and begin the porting process to port their number over. So there's all these things. Baby Yoda, what's up, man? So there's all these things that's happening. And I want to emphasize that while myself and others have posted, like whether we posted screenshots that we were able to get into the Boost Infinite app, or that we're able to do certain things, it doesn't mean that the site itself, the system itself, is running at 100% full capacity. I would like to say, just being a logical thinker, at this point right now, they are operating maybe at best 85%, maybe 90%. And we're gonna see things come, come available, and then all of a sudden be down again. As they're diligently working through it. Thanks for the super chat. Where are the rainbow SIM cards? Right now, we're not even going to be seeing that, considering what just recently happened. I think that's like the last thing that's on Dish's mind right now. Once everything is like 100%, once their investigation is done, as far as the situation with the cyber attack, and then we can start, seeing or hearing. Now, if I find out anything else down the road, yes, of course, I'll let you guys know. There are certain things that that Boost Infinite Dish has that I'm not going to be able to convey, because starting next month I'll be working for them. I went the other day to go check out the site that they're building down here, and basically the office, and it looks pretty cool. Of course, it's empty because they don't have like all the desks and computers and everything set up. They got to have that done by mid-April, and then myself and others that have been picked up to work for Boost Infinite, we'll go into our new contact center. I'm still getting billed for Boost Infinite even days after canceling my account. They charge me again. Slow customer service, and they verify my plan would be canceled. What I would do at this point, literally, Mark, and this will prevent further charges. And this is like a rule of thumb with anything. When you subscribe to something and you cancel, and you're still getting billed for it, right? I mean, first, make sure that they return the money back, right? Because obviously they can refund the money back. Once you can confirm yourself that the money that they've taken from you is given back, I would just completely cancel that card with your banking institution and get a whole new card. Because then anytime that their system even tries to automatically bill your card, because that card's no longer active, it's just going to get declined every single time until eventually the system stops. Because that's a charge that Dish is going to eat. So eventually, when they eat many of the charges on that, at that point, then of course they're going to stop. They're going to stop the system from trying to charge you. Do you think the hackers are taking advantage of the layoffs in the tech sector, knowing that the remaining workers are worn down? That's a good possibility. That's a good question, Brian. It's a good possibility that that's the reason why they're doing it now. I mean, there's a lot happening, right? Besides Boost Infinite, right? There's layoffs happening all across the board. So yeah, definitely. I haven't been refunded yet. My debit card. I thought about doing that. Yeah. Get your money back first, and then just contact your bank and just cancel your debit card and have them issue out a whole new debit card. Because that, of course, obviously that's going to have it, possibly have a different card number, but also the CID number is going to be different. And that's the most important part of doing any type of electronic transaction, is that CID number. But yeah, I know there's a lot of people that have waited for a Boost to come back up so they can port their number out. This is, if you're going to do it when you're going to another carrier, I'm going to do that. The fear mongering and all that other stuff. I mean, I'm gonna put that to bed right now. Tuck it away with a nice little bedtime story. because it's amazing that, you know, something like this happens, and this is no joke. Okay, like I don't look at a cyber attack at this magnitude as a joke whatsoever. And the fact is you know, there's some that, I guess, for the sake of good reporting is what they want to identify it as, or just to have something to say. You know, they want to be on people's posts in the comments, and they want to continue on with this. And it's like, you know, while it is a big deal, Boost Infinite's not the only one to ever have their data breached. Okay, let's get that clear. Two, the massive amount of people that were rushing to the defense of T-Mobile with T-Mobile's multiple data breaches don't have a ground to stand on to condemn Boost Infinite, Boost Mobile, Dish Wireless, and oh, they failed to protect customer information. Like, you still stand with the company that has had its data breached not once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, or 6 times. Okay, more than that. And still, when people talk about it, they report about it, they make YouTube videos about it. They're the ones into the comment sections calling these people that report on it T-Mobile haters, brand haters, and all this other stuff. So, you know, it's hypocrisy at its finest, you know, that you would go and call people that report on T-Mobile's data breach as haters, but you yourself come in and start talking about, you know, Boost Infinite and stuff like that. And it's just weird. You know, the gang mentality type thing just needs to get the hell out of the tech space, honestly. Okay, if you bring that type of mentality, you're doing a disservice to the entire community. All right, this ain't about brands. T-Mobile brand versus Boost brand, T-Mobile brand versus Verizon brand. I rock red, I rock magenta, I rock blue, I rock orange. Like, who cares? That type of thinking is just ridiculous. It really is. So I'm calling that out. I know what you mean. Okay, yeah. Let's see. They want to hit you when you are down. Oh yeah. Off topic. Oh yeah. Yeah, the weekend. Yeah, that's my wife's. She's a big fan of the weekend. So much as the fact that she's got the XO tattooed on her inner forearm. And then for Valentine's Day, I got her the XO necklace. Um, That's the one that I got from K Jewelers. I had them make it specifically for her. So she got that. And then you know, like I have, you know, a wedding band that was like silicone, just so that way, in case I ever got caught. But then she ended up, because I did my original one, my original wedding band got damaged really bad. So she ended up getting me this one. I'm still on the prepaid side of Boost after the outage for a week. I'm not switching to Infinite side. Yeah, you really don't need to. I mean, when it comes to the prepaid side versus the postpaid side, the only clear difference between them, really, okay, because I have both. I have Infinite on my Pixel 7. That's my main device. Right now, I have the prepaid with Boost One on my iPhone 10s. Formerly was in my Moto G Stylus 2022, and then I have the old legacy Boost Mobile on the T-Mobile network on my Galaxy A53. The only difference between them really is the fact that on Boost Infinite you get the international calling and texting, right? You get that added on there. Of course, obviously you use the services first and you're billed for it afterwards. Rather than on prepaid, you pay for the services up front. They're both $25 if that's the plan that you got. And for a fact on the prepaid side, well, not for a fact because I haven't hit over 30 gigs, but a lot of people on the prepaid side do say that it does throttle you. You are slowed down after you pass 30 gigs. Boost Infinite, there's a lot of Infinite customers that are saying that once they pass 30 gigs, their speeds are just fine. About 2 or 3 people have told me that when in moments of congestion, they were slowed down, but their speeds returned to normal afterwards. So it's not really much of a difference. You don't really got to jump. Both prepaid and postpaid will get the Rainbow SIM, is what they call it, which is a dynamic switching feature. So that's not something that you would have to leave prepaid to go to postpaid for. I got 35 at $40. What, 35 gigs? I got well, this one's still free. I don't pay nothing for this line. This is on the old $50 plan. 35 gigs of priority data and 12 gigs of hotspot. This one's on the $25 plan, and it's 30 gigs of high-speed data slowed for the remainder of your bill cycle. And you get to do the daily spin thingy and everything like that to earn credit. In other words, this is infinite. This is on postpaid. So this one I use, to call family outside of the country. Yeah, they just cut it off to prevent data loss. At least with Comcast, the data is harder to steal. I beg to differ. When there is a breach, the whole customer service account access website is shut down immediately. I mean, that's what they say. I mean, when you make judgments like that, when you're like, okay, this brand, it's harder for anyone to breach. It's not. Okay, if these guys want Comcast, they'll get Comcast. And it wouldn't surprise a lot of people if they already had. You see, I don't put 100% trust into companies to say that their cybersecurity is so immaculate that not even a maestro can get in. Because to have that type of mentality tells me you really don't understand technology. And I'm not trying to be an arrogant a-hole about it. I'm just saying it as facts, right? If someone wants in, they're going to get in. And if they know exactly what they're doing, they will find that way in. Samsung Galaxy A13, $65 at Walmart. Nice. People pay money to company reps. Yeah, I mean, there's all types of ways around it. Hell, there's okay. So one of the most common, easiest ways is through phishing. And I worked in enough contact centers to know they're hiring people off the streets. Okay, you don't got to come in with a degree that says I'm certified to work in a contact center. No, you just got to have the willingness to want to learn the business. You do your interview. You're like, hey, yeah, this sounds like right up my alley. Seems pretty chill. Just, to take calls, answer calls, and talk with customers and navigate different systems and system tabs. So you just got to have basic computer literacy. You just got to be able to type decently. You don't even have to type 55 words a minute or anything like that. And so, yeah, and a lot of these people that come into this workspace aren't familiar, with cyber attacks, with phishing techniques, and all this other stuff. And so some of them will get an email, and they'll respond to that email because it looks like an internal email sent to them, and boom, they just gave somebody access to be able to get in under their login credentials, right? This is a system-wide login. At any given point, I can tell you that anyone that works at a contact center has more than 3 logins. And that's for all the systems that they use, right? And some of them, even though they're not supposed to, still write it down because they can't remember all their logins. They can't remember their username or what password goes with that username. And so they keep it written down. So no company is foolproof. No company. Does anyone know if Walmart delivery groceries are the same price as in store? I want to say that the cost of the item is. Of course, there's going to be different fees on top of it because it's grocery delivery. So those hackers are no one to play with. I saw someone say they couldn't be hacked. A week later, they were. Yeah, you definitely got to remember. And two, here's the thing, right? Like, they're watching on the internet. They're watching. Who's not to say that one is watching right now? And maybe because of the fact that Michael claimed that Comcast has a pretty good system in place and that they can't be hacked, you just gave them a reason to now want to. To some of these hackers out there, this is a game for them. This is like playing an RPG game and leveling up. Today I'm gonna see if I can get into CarMax's system. Okay, I got in. All right, tomorrow I'm gonna try to get into T-Mobile system. All right, I got in. All right, the next day, let me see if I can get into DoD systems with Fort Sill, right? Get in, let's step it up and go military. Start getting in there. This is a game for a lot of them, and the game that they do, some of them, it's just harmless. Like some of them are just people that just want to see if they can break into the system. Then that's all they want to do, and once they've achieved it, that's it. But then you got those that have malicious intent. They're like, now that I'm in here, what can I get? What can I hold hostage? I'll send out a memo to the company and say, hey, I got in. Did you know that there's actually cybersecurity firms in place that has hackers that actually test company cybersecurity? That's what they do all day long, is they try to break into their systems. And when they do, they give them a report of all the flaws, all the vulnerabilities, and these companies have like so many days to fix it. As a matter of fact, the founder and owner of the social media site called Hive, she was on a live stream with Zach Talks Tech, and she even opened up about it, talked about that the security company, cybersecurity company, gave her a packet of all the vulnerabilities to her social platform. And there's only 3 people that work on that social platform, herself plus two other coders. And so they actually shut down the entire site. I think it was like for a few days to patch those vulnerabilities before relaunching the site live. So there's people that do this for a living. There's companies that hire these white hat hackers to do these things, right? You got gray hat hackers that are like not really good and not really bad. They're just like, it's a game to them. They want to play to break in. And you have black hat that have malicious intent behind it. Digital world has become more dangerous to me than 1990. T-Mobile probably has a welcome mat for. Yeah, as a matter of how many times that they bust. Yeah, I respect your opinion, Tito. We can have different views and still be friends. Of course. And my opinion is that there's not a company out there that can ever say that they're 100% foolproof. That's my opinion. On the 1st, I paid my half of my phone bill. And on the 3rd, Comcast was having technical difficulties. My wife could not access the website to pay her half of the phone bill. Okay. And did that have to do with like a recent attempt? Is that how you found out that they just have this fail safe that once something is trying to breach the system just completely shuts down? Yes. And that's one attempt. Possibly, because I don't think I've never really heard of a company that was successful in thwarting a cyber attack go public and say that someone attempted to cyber attack them. They don't push that type of information out there. Only time they ever really say like a cyber attack was happened is if it was successful, because they do have to disclose to their customers like, hey, data's been compromised. But a company that was able to thwart an attack and nothing happened, they don't go public and start telling people, hey, we almost had a cyber attack. Because that just stirs up the pot, right? Like, what they say, like if it ain't broke, don't fix it type thing. If people aren't panicking of cybersecurity with the company that they subscribe to, there's no reason to go and tell people like, hey, we almost had a data breach, because that's just going to stir the pot and get everyone paranoid. I'm sure they will. I mean, Meta has a lot of things going for it, right? It's a PR thing. Yeah. I mean, if these companies had like a foolproof way in, like not, like to protect all customers' information, I would do backflips. At my age of 40 years old, I would be doing backflips, somersaults, and cartwheels because, I mean, that's good. Stay quiet if possible. Yeah. You know, to openly, and like, contact centers aren't really supposed to speak about that. Like, it don't matter what, if it's a different company. Contact centers, I've worked in many, and they have about the same rules. There are a few things that are different between them, but the one rule that always stays the same is that when there's any type of like security issue, whatever, reps are not to talk about it. And the reason why is because reps are representatives of the company, so anything that they say can be held to the company. So anytime that there's an issue like that, company-wide email comes out, team leads are supposed to, pull an emergency meeting, so they go down by waves, right? So you have a team lead, he has or she may have anywhere between 5 to 15 people on their team, and there's waves of them. And the way that these centers work is that if there's like a system-wide emergency email that's gone out, team leads have to convey this over to their reps. They go down in waves. So one team, they'll all go into an aux code. The aux code means that they're going into a meeting, right? Each company has different aux codes, right? Like, I know for the last one that I worked for, going to a meeting was aux code 10. And so they'll all go into an aux code. Lead will take them into one of the meeting rooms, and they'll go over the email really quickly. And they usually give them about like 10 minutes to brief their reps on what's going on and what they're supposed to say on the call. After that, they go back to the floor, they get on the phones, they go back into ready mode, and then calls start coming in. And when they start taking calls, then the next team goes down in aux 10 and goes and does the same thing. That's how contact centers work. We're not to openly tell people about, security threats or things like that. We can't. Because if I was to say something about a security threat to a customer, and I'm speaking out of my ass on like 50% of what I'm conveying over the phone, that customer can hold the company liable. Because I am a representative of that. So, all right, like the boss in Men in Black said to Will Smith, the person is smart. People has a large group, or yes, that's true. It's similar to the delayed pixel updates. They didn't say anything. Yeah, they didn't say anything. They just went ahead and tried to get that fixed. By the way, how many of you guys actually took advantage of the Pixel 7 Mint mobile deal? Getting 12 months of service plus the Pixel 7 for $289. Just curious to know who actually went for it. Yeah, so, to all the fearmongers out there that, first of all, I don't even know why, if anyone says that they're going to stay with a company like Boost Infinite or T-Mobile, I don't understand why other people get affected by it. It's not you that has to deal with it if it happens again, and it's not you that has to worry about your bank cards and stuff like that. So why does it bother? That's what I never understand. It's like what I use and what you use, like, why does it bother everybody else? I mean, if people make suggestions, and suggestions are always welcome. Hey, why don't you try Visible? Okay. Try US Mobile. Okay. But if I don't go with US Mobile, why does it irk some people to be like, he didn't go with them? Like, what does it matter to you what I use, And see, and that's the type of mentality that's going on. Is like, some people are like, I'm going to port out. Hey, great to them. Lack of faith in the company, I don't blame you. Go somewhere where you're going to be happy. That's what I always say. But then you got people that's like, no, I'm going to stay. And then you got other people that's like chatting on them like, oh, you're stupid for staying. Why are they stupid for staying? That's what I was. Why? Why call them stupid? That doesn't make sense. They could do what they want. It's their money. It's their money. It's their bank account. It's their information. JG Wentworth, understand that. It's their information. They can do what they want with it. They want to stay with Boost Infinite, that's totally fine. They ain't going to kill you. Those people that are like hell-bent. Sometimes I feel like that all it really is, it really has nothing to do with the cyber attack. It just has to do with the fact that maybe they don't like Boost as a brand and they want to see them fail. To me, that's dumb. I wouldn't want to see any company fail. Even the ones that I don't firmly believe in, I don't want to see them fall. If they fall, that's less competition. That means that the company I'm with is going to lack innovative promotions to be challenging to other companies out there. Because what incentive do they need to do? They don't need to get customers. They don't need to fight for customers in the market. So I mean, I don't know. I just don't see why why some people behave that way. Yeah, no, not pay. I already have a Pixel 7 Pro, so not for you. Okay. I'm just curious about it because like I'm just like surprised that Mint even had a deal like that. And it seems pretty decent for those people that want to have, you know, want to get a Google Pixel. I think Google Fi also has a deal on the Google Pixel 7 currently right now. And getting phones through Google Fi is not bad at all because they're automatically unlocked. They don't lock them to anything. Yeah, exactly. Jose, what's up, man? Happy Saturday. Yeah, yeah, you gotta do what's best for you. So if you don't like Boost Infinite, totally fine. If you gave up on them and like I split, totally cool. You know, um, but you're wasting your time being in people's ears. Those that say that they're gonna stay with Boost Infinite. I mean, you're wasting your time. Looks like I'll be getting 2 months of free service with Boost. Nice, nice. Did you head over to one of the Boost mobile stores and had them put the credit in, or did you chat with the rep that is crediting the account? The 50 login coins is paying off. Yeah. Speaking of which, um, this coming week I got to put the SIM back into the Solera 5G Plus. So here it is. It's a big phone. It's a very big phone. If you want context, here's the original Solera. Yeah, it's a little bit bigger, but it's not super heavy. It's not super heavy. There's just some things about it that kind of irk the hell out of me. But no, you can see the camera sensors are a little bit bigger. So yeah, I still got to do the full review on the Solera 5G. Yeah, that's a phablet. Yeah, for sure, that's a phablet. That thing is huge compared to what I'm normally used to. Like when I got the Solera 5G, well, the Solera 5G Plus, like when I was using the Galaxy A53, I felt like this was a big phone. And not anymore. Not anymore. Like this compared to that, this is smaller. Of course, my Pixel 7 is smaller. And then like now my iPhone 10s feels even more smaller when I hold the Solera 5G Plus. So um by the way, someone give me some feedback really quickly. Is a live stream getting choppy or anything like that? And I just want to know. Because it's weird. I'm on the T-Mobile home internet right now, live streaming with my Pixelbook Go. And the last live stream I did, it was cutting in and out. But I was using Restream, which is a live stream software. This is native through YouTube. So I'm on the YouTube website and live streaming. It seems smooth. Okay. So yeah, it definitely has to be Restream. It has to be Restream that gives me a problem. But then again, I mean, like the Restream thing is good for like podcasting environment and everything like that. And like lately, I've just been on this more of like, let's just kind of like sit and talk type of live stream. So I guess this works out just fine. Yeah, no background music or none of that stuff or anything like that. Um, yeah. By the way, those that weren't here in the very beginning of the live stream, have you guys played with Magic Eraser on a non-pixel device? And I posted a YouTube Shorts that shows me demoing it using Magic Eraser on the Galaxy A53 and deleting like stuff in a photo that I took. Just to let you guys know that it is actually live right now. So you don't need a Google Pixel phone with the Tensor G chip to be able to do the Magic Eraser. It's now native. The only thing you need is a Google One subscription. Just go with the $1.99 100 gig cloud storage plan, and boom, you're ready to go. Yeah. Either way, I mean, this works out fine for me. So I'm not trying to, I guess I'm one of the things I'm doing is killing this image of like being a tech YouTuber. I don't really care to be that, but just being a person that just talks about tech, that's just fine with me. So um the notion of one and a half podcast environment type stuff just isn't for me anymore. There's a lot of things that I've been kind of like looking at a lot when it comes to YouTube and everything, and things that I'm kind of reserved on, and things that I'm gonna start like kind of like shifting around and changing, especially the fact that like I said, I'll be working at the new contact center for Boost Infinite down in Chandler actually, and I start that next month. So I'm not really gonna have a lot of time just because when my daily commute, um, I have to put some money together for a down payment on a second vehicle. So the wife has her vehicle to go to work, and then I have my car to go to work. Other than that, if I'm taking the train to work and stuff like that, it's nearly a 2-hour commute to work. As I live way on the opposite side of Phoenix from where that contact center is. So it's going to be a journey and a half. Um, yeah. So, I mean, more YouTube shorts. Those are like faster for me to make, using CapCut editing, 60-second clip, put it up, you know, I'll probably be like that. And then like maybe on my lunch breaks or something, maybe like in the break room or something, maybe I'll do some videos on site. It just depends on their policies. I'm sure their policies are really strict. So, just after what happened. You must be a subscriber to comment. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. You know what? Honestly, it's sad that I have to turn on subscriber mode. Does the A53 have eSIM? No. No e support on the A53. And I don't have any intentions of buying the A54. The A53 is just fine. And like seeing what the A54 has from the 53, it's kind of like from the 53 from the 52. There's like not really a drastic bump difference. So yeah. Vape God King in the house, Tech Mode. What's up, man? Yo, how was your vacation, dude? Where you went to, like some of the photos that you posted out there on your vacation, like the beach and everything, beautiful, beautiful, man. It makes me miss home. Except my home's beach don't look like that. Like that looks more of like a relaxing beach, and like not to diss Hawaii or anything like that, but we have a lot of homeless in Hawaii right now, and so a lot of the beaches that used to be really beautiful looking and everything are pretty much run down because a lot of like homeless people, build their tents out there to live and sleep and whatnot. Aruba, yeah, that's what it was. Oh, I forgot. I was like thinking in my head, but wasn't sure if that's where you went. The thing is, and I don't know if you experienced this, but like when you go to a place like that for vacation and everything, like leaving is always the hardest thing. There was a resort, and I've told this story years ago. This was when I was very young. I was about 7 years old, and my dad was stationed in Clark Air Base in the Philippines, and this was right before Mount Pinatubo erupted, and we had to evac off Clark Air Base. But like a month before, my dad took us on a vacation. We went up north on the island of Luzon, where there was a resort, beautiful as hell. Of course, I charged like a shit ton of money to like my dad's hotel bill because they had like a bar in the middle of the pool, and they had concrete like bar stools in the water and everything, right? So you can sit, relax in the pool, have a drink. And I go there and I would order a bunch of soda, Coke, orange soda, strawberry soda, grape soda, every one of them. And the guy would always ask for a bungalow number. I'd be like, I'll tell him the bungalow number, so they would bill it to that to my dad. He would get the bill. And but anyways, the day that we were leaving, I just had this feeling like half of me was being ripped away, just because like the atmosphere and everything was like just so amazing, so relaxing, and so much fun, right? Like the pool had an open view to the beach, to the ocean. right? So sitting in a certain angle, you had this effect like you were in the ocean. And you can get out from the pool on the south end and it would go straight to the beach sand. And they had like all these different people selling like like shell necklaces and stuff like that, trinkets and baubles and all types of stuff, beautiful and everything. And when we left, it felt like half of me was ripped away just because it was so relaxing out there. It was just like that awesome feeling you get when you go on vacation. You go to a different scene, something away from normalcies, and you just feel like you're in a different world. So when you're coming back to your normal world, you just kind of have like this, I don't know, it's just probably just me, I don't know. But I hope your vacation was amazing and relaxing and everything. Vacations are fun, but can't last forever. I know, that's a sad thing, especially with nice weather. All right, safe trip. And I'll see you on TikTok and on YouTube because I watch a lot of your TikToks. So like Technoid's TikToks on my feed come up like every third or fourth video swipe. Then it's like one of his, like either talking about the iPhone 15 or talking about Samsung, talking about audio earbuds. So if you guys aren't following him on TikTok, follow him on TikTok if that's your guys' thing. Yeah, I know there's a couple of people that were waiting to activate on Boost Infinite only because what they wanted to do, and it's kind of a smart idea, I guess you can say. You can have, four carrier connection, right? So they had Boost Infinite, and they're waiting for dynamic switching to happen, so they would be able to take advantage of T-Mobile, AT&T, Dish network connections, and then they had visible on eSIM for Verizon connection, right? So then in their eyes, the ultimate connection, you will be connected wherever you go. Sad thing is, though, is that you still got to pick one number to use. I mean, newer devices coming out this year and going into the future are DSDA, right? Dual SIM, dual active. But me personally, like, I have too many numbers, and that's why my family, like, really, they don't text me or call me. It's because they don't know what number to text or call. Now, it would be easier if Google Voice would adapt RCS messaging into it, because Google Voice, I can run it on anything. But for some reason, Google is just being ridiculous, and they won't open up RCS for that. I agree. I'm not against the homeless, but we as a society has to control where human waste produced by the body is disposed of. It. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough in Hawaii. It really is. Most of the people that are homeless out there currently right now are not even from Hawaii. I know that there were certain states like Michigan was putting their homeless on a one-way flight to Hawaii, and it's like it's like being caught between a rock and a hard place, right? From the state of Michigan's point of view, rather than having people dying in the streets, in the state of Michigan, from it being very cold weather, send them to where it's warm most of the time. Problem is that Hawaii is, a chain of islands. There's only so much space. And then, things are so pricey in Hawaii that not even like families out there can survive on their own. Like to say that it's you, your spouse, and your kids living in a house in the state of Hawaii, that's a very rare thing to see. Because normal houses in Hawaii are made up of like 2 or 3 families combined together in one household just to make the bills, right? You're talking like a 5-bedroom house in Hawaii in a good neighborhood, monthly rent $1,900 to like $2,500 a month, sometimes even $3,000 a month. Just to live in a nice condo in Hawaii, maybe about $2,700 to $3,000 a month you're paying to live in a high-rise condo. It's expensive. Yeah. And then you got the cost of food. You're right. Food costs a lot nowadays. I just bought some steaks yesterday at a barbecue. That's the reason why I didn't live stream, is because my wife got off work early. She surprised me coming home, because I missed her when she left to go to work. And so She took off early, came home to surprise me. So I was like, hey, I was gonna barbecue today, but I was like, let's just barbecue now. So last night, after she got here, I gave her a back massage because her lower back was hurting. So I gave her a back rub for like half an hour. And then we got up and we took the kids. We went to go get some stuff. And we went and got some steaks, right? And I'm shocked at the price of steaks. But of course, like companies like, Safeway, like they have online deals. You click coupons in the app and everything, and you can save, right? Now, if I was not to do any of the coupon clippings and none of the savings and stuff like that, right? For 5 T-bone steaks would have cost me like $86. I kid you not. I don't know how much it is in your area. You guys feel free to drop prices of like what a T-bone steak costs you. But like for 5 slabs, and these are thick cut. They're about like that thick, about 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches thick. And yeah, they cost like $86 for a pack of 5. Of course, with the clippings and savings and stuff like that, and they paid about 32 and some change. So like food's expensive. Even chicken. Even chicken is expensive. Bacon. Whew. The one thing that actually had me shocked beyond anything um, was how much eggs cost now. Eggs is extremely expensive. Getting DMs from Mark. What's up, Ross? What's going on, man? Touchscreen laptops. Got notifications that popped up and tried to swipe them away, and then tapped on someone's comment to, you have like the different menu options and everything. But yeah, everything costs a lot, So I think that's the other reason why too. Like when you see companies like Boost Infinite offering unlimited at $25, and you got Mobile X that has a $25 unlimited plan. Like people look at that option to try it out, and some people are like, "Well, it's only 30 gigs of data, and you're slowed down and everything." But more people are interested in saving money because everything costs more nowadays, and everything's about to cost even more with all the things that's going on. So, to see gas prices going back up because they're going back up here. Um, for like the last 2 months, I've enjoyed the cheapest gas that I can find here was $2.87 a gallon. It's back up to $3.89 a gallon, and it's crossing $4 here soon again. Watching on a OnePlus 11, absolutely awesome phone. Nice. Yeah, OnePlus is not bad at all. I've always said before that if Google decided to throw the Pixels to the graveyard, OnePlus would probably be the type of phone that I would go for afterwards. OnePlus is decent. Or Samsung. Of course, a lot of people will probably go to Samsung. Samsung's a very well recognized brand. So, hey, it is what it is. Twitter notifications, Google Pixel. Shout out to Team Pixel. I felt so bad because BTech Review was wanting to go live the other day. Like he messaged me on Facebook and he was like, "Hey, you want to go live with me?" And I was like dead. I was dead tired, so I was like, "Yeah, I'll go. I can go live in an hour." That's the last thing I remember was typing out that message to him and sending it, and then I had woken up like 3 hours after I sent that message. I took a nap. Like I'm 100% recovered from being sick, so I'm great. Um, Time and rest is what I really needed. So like I'm good now. Gas is $3.29 a gallon. Ouch. At what parts of Wisconsin? Because we got LJ, aka Latrell, he lives in Kenosha. Let's show you guys really quickly. If you have Google One subscription to access the the Magic Eraser on non-pixel phones, just go to Google Photos. Select a picture, right? At the bottom, hit Edit. And when you slide over to Tools, and you'll see Magic Eraser. Of course, that one with the circle around it means you got to be a Google One subscriber in order to use that. And you can use Magic Eraser and erase things in photos that, are blemishes and you don't want them. It's your boy again. Your backup phone is your Pixel 6. I saw my Pixel 6. Right now, there's no SIM in it. It's just powered off right now. I'm currently using a Pixel 7. I like using my Pixel 6 every now and then. It is bigger than the 7, though. You can feel a difference when you hold them both. Yeah, I hear a lot of people talking about the Galaxy A14 and how great it is. Yeah, man. That's awesome. See how long it took for the freaking webcam on the Pixelbook Go to like adjust the white balance? Premium over there is $5 again. Ouch. No, I haven't used that. I'm gonna assume that it's just as good. Like, does it only pertain to reflections, or is that just basically what they call it, their version of Magic Eraser, where you can erase blemishes and other things in the background that you don't want in your photo? Uh, how many print registrations on your Pixel 6 do you have per thumb? Because what I've done to alleviate that issue with the Pixel 6 and its biometric scanner, since it's not like the greatest or the fastest, you could say, is I've actually registered each thumb 3 times. So like when I go into my profile for like the fingerprint sensor, it'll show 6 prints that have been added, and it's 3 of each thumb. That way, when I tap to unlock it, much faster. I don't have that problem with the Pixel 7. Its fingerprint sensor is great. I have 1 thumb registered to unlock on the Pixel 7, and 3 of the same thumbprint for each thumb. I'll try that. Yeah, it still kind of suffers that with the camera itself. The other thing I don't like about it is the native launcher on here. I don't like it. Like I found the modified launcher for the Pixel 2 XL, and I installed it on the Solera 5G Plus. And it's not that it's like super bad. It's just the app configurations are clustered, and for me, I'm OCD with the apps, so I like them alphabetized. And there's not a way to alphabetize them. Like they're all scattered, right? So like on my app drawer, when I swipe up from my app drawer on the native launcher, like a lot of the Google apps is at the very top, and they're all out of place. Like YouTube's here and Google Drive's here, and it's like, it don't make sense. And then every new app that I install, it just installs in the app drawer at the bottom of the app drawer. You have to swipe all the way to the bottom to find them. So some people that might be, that might help out, because then they just got to remember like when they installed the app, and that's where it's going to be sitting in the app drawer. But like not having the ability to organize your app drawer and have it alphabetized is annoying for me. So I installed the Pixel 2 XL's modded launcher, and I have that as a stock launcher on there. As far as like performance, it does I'll tell people it does do way better than the original Solera 5G. Using a Qualcomm chip um, is a lot better, in my opinion, than a MediaTek. MediaTek, I just don't like them. They seem and feel very very sluggish. It's like any command being given to be executed is just like it seems like the MediaTek chips have a hard time to try to process that. Yeah, I agree with that. The biometric in-display sensors for OnePlus are more reliable than on the Google Pixel. At least the Pixel 6, in my opinion. The 7 is fine. But yeah, the cameras, they are way better than the original Solero. They are way better. But you never really realize like how much you use something until you don't have it. So like, I take pictures at night when I go out with my family and stuff like that. And when you have a phone that doesn't do good in low light, then it starts to become like you're like, Ugh. So big phone, um, drastic improvements from the original. So I do give them a shout out on that. They did improve in a lot of areas that needed improvement. They still got a ways to go. I would say if you wanted size comparison, if you've ever used the T-Mobile Revel 5G Plus, this is the same height and width as that phone. I think I have that phone here somewhere. Hold on. Yeah. Uh, yeah, the Revel and the Solera 5G Plus, they're like the same height. Same height. The Solera 5G Plus is a little bit wider, but they're the same height. So that gives you any context on the size of it. I miss HTC devices, to be honest with you. If they could resurrect any device, honestly, I would want the HTC One M7 resurrected. Today's modern chips, today's modern storage capacities, today's modern base amount of RAM. I would totally buy one. I would buy an HTC One M7 2023 edition. One of my favorite phones from HTC was the HTC One A9. I really like that phone, and it will always annoy the hell out of me. That's how much I like the phone. Everything about it was great. The size, the design, the look and feel of Sense was great. Only that pissed me off about that phone was like they put such a weak battery in there. You would kill that battery in usage in an hour and a half. Hour and a half, I can go from 100% to 22% on the One A9. And I was always just like, why couldn't they have just put like a 3,500 milliamp hour battery in it? Give me 4 or 5 hours of screen on time. I'll be okay. I don't mind having to charge my phone later on in the day. I just don't want to have to charge my phone 5 times a day. And then there was a YouTube Shorts I came across when I was flipping through YouTube, and the guy busted out his HTC Evo 3D. And I was like, yeah, the Evo 3D came out way ahead of its time. Way ahead of its time. Can you imagine if they had today's modern specifications with the HTC Evo 3D, with the 3D camera, if it came out now, like with the stuff we have today, the technology we have today? Oh my God. I would so go bananas. I would be recording a buttload of 3D videos and upload them to YouTube. Of course, it's wishful thinking, but yeah, Moto should have kept the Droid brand. I mean, they can always bring it back. It's up to Lenovo if Lenovo ever wants to kind of bring that back. That'd be really cool to see. I mean, they now have that rollable phone, the Moto Riser, which I don't know. It seems like the Motorola is kind of like taking a page out of its nostalgic book, right? So you have the Razer flip phone, which is foldable display, contender to the Galaxy Flip. Um, so they did that, and it was pretty cool because they had a user interface theme that made it look like the original Razers, like dial pad and everything. That was pretty cool. They had the riser, which is a rollable display. The screen rises up when you need more space out of it. It's kind of weird looking, but kind of cool, right? Wouldn't surprise me if they brought out the Crazer brand, right? B Tech Reviews, what's up, man? Wouldn't surprise me if they brought up the Crazer brand and did something crazy with it. I thought the funniest thing was on Reddit. There's like a Reddit group for the Moto Razr 5G and everything, right? And someone actually actually had the maybe they were just so excited for Motorola and foldable tech and all this other stuff that they literally forgot. So they were like, they should make the Moto Sliver, right? I don't know how many of you guys seen the Moto Sliver because it was a rare phone to find. I think I've owned one in my lifetime. That was when Metro PCS was around before it was purchased by T-Mobile. So they were only available in certain markets. And this was in a time when I lived like on the Texas-Louisiana border. The Metro PCS serviced that area. And they sold the Moto Sliver for $379. I bought one. What it is, it's just a candy bar razor, right? So it's not a flip phone. You have the dialer buttons at the bottom. You had, I think it's like a 2.1 inch display at the top. So this person in the Reddit community posted about that they should bring back the Moto Sliver, candy bar style with modern day specs. And I'm like, so basically bring back a Motorola device that's touchscreen, because this, if today's standards, this would be the Moto Sliver because it's candy bar style. It's not a flip phone. It's not a slider phone. It's the funniest thing. Regular phones today have build issues still. My friend's Pixel 7 had his volume buttons fall out. That's crazy. I know people always ask me that when it comes to my Pixel 7. They're like, hey, did your buttons come out? I'm like, no. Oh, no, just because they keep it in the case, but if I was pop it out the case. I know Mike Varai was like, who's brave enough to rock their Pixel 7 without a case? I've done it. But mine seems to be fairly okay. Still intact. I'm wondering too if it has to do with the fact of like how you pull your phone out of the case and everything like that. I always try to get it from this side out so that way the buttons are never pushed against the lip of the case. They just kind of slide outward. I don't try to put much tension on parts of the phone because these things can happen. Not saying that I should, but they can. And when you kind of add to it when you put unnecessary stress, wear and tear on these things. So I know that eventually I'm going to upgrade to a different iPhone. It is time for me to upgrade. The 10S has done great for so long. It still does great. I still like using it. My wife calls it the Holy Trinity. She's like, you have an iPhone, you have a Google Pixel, and then you have a Samsung Galaxy. Even though the Galaxy is a mid-range and not a flagship, it's still a good phone for a mid-range. I'll tell anybody that at the end of the day. Galaxy A53 was really a palate cleanser for me. Really kind of like took me away from the Google Pixels and all the normalcies of the Google Pixels and gave me something different. And that's what I like. I like using something different from time to time. So one UI and its customability, being able to customize it. Plus two, the A53 got Android 13, so it finally got updated. I wouldn't use my Pixel without a case. I've done that once. It does really bring me anxiety. I won't do it again. 'Cause I remember I took it, I had to go to the store, took it out the house, didn't have a case on it, and while I was using it, I don't know, because I knew it didn't have a case on it, it was like really hard to type because I like my hands were like really squinched because I was trying to make sure I kept a good grip on it. Like Pixels, the Pixel 7, the Pixel 6, you could use them without a case if it wasn't so dang slippery. It's like holding a fish. Maybe we need to see an entry level price smartphone, touchscreen smartphone that is a flip phone. It'll be a while before foldable technology gets down to that price range where it's just like you can put it on a lot of mid-range devices. Because if you look at a lot of foldable tech, they're really hitting $1,000 and above. 1,500 is like the spot for them. That's still pricey. You know, I think it'll be a couple of more years before we start seeing like flip phones like the Galaxy Flip, seeing those being priced at $600. I mean, you could get them for $600. Don't get me wrong. You just got to find the right places that have the deals, trade-in deals and stuff like that. And yeah, that'll knock a couple of hundred off of it. The camera glass breaking, I have a theory on that with the Pixel 7. And I'm thinking that it has to do with like how you transfer transfer something from hot to cold. Just the temperature change dramatically, quickly can damage. That's what I think happens with the glass. And I started seeing a lot of people were reporting about the glass on the Pixel 7's camera sensor just shattering. And this is happening around the time where like temperature is changing. We're going from warm seasons to cold seasons when it started happening a lot more. So that's what I'm thinking what it is. At the end of the day, I keep my stuff in a case. And to be quite honest with everybody, the Pixel 7 is not mostly used. Like, I don't mostly take it out. Like when I start going to work, if I have to daily commute, I'm gonna take the Galaxy A53. And the reason why is because my city has a lot of crime has gone up here. Right? If someone's gonna stick me up to steal my smartphone, I'll be okay getting robbed for this versus getting robbed for this. I remember like dudes here are so desperate. I remember I had the ZTE Max for Boost Mobile. Dudes thought it was a Pixel 6 Plus. The Pixel 6 Plus. iPhone 6 Plus. Ugh. The iPhone 6 Plus. Because that's, when Apple changed their design of their iPhones, right? And so from a further distance, they thought that's what it was. So they robbed me at gunpoint for the phone. And that's why after that happened, I had that app called Cerberus, and that's the reason why I was promoting it a lot back in 2014, 2015 and such. Yeah, it's because they would have caught the person that either bought my phone off whoever robbed me for it or was the person who took it. But the cops were ridiculous. First of all, they didn't want me to go with them to the place where on the Cerberus map it showed that my phone was active on GPS. They didn't want me to go there. They wanted me to stay at the police station, and they had an officer on standby, and they would radio him to tell me to hit the phone and make the phone's alarm go off. I'm like, you guys don't know what my tones and stuff sound like. Other people around that neighborhood all have smartphones, so someone's phone could ring and you're gonna walk in the wrong direction. Like, I should have been there to hear it. So once the moment that I hit to activate the sound for it to start going off, I can hear my own ringtone and be like, it's in that direction, or it's at that house, or that person sitting outside has it, You don't have that with W flip phone. I mean, that's not going to stop anybody from wanting to rob people at gunpoint. Like concealed carry, that just gives me the ability to shoot them too. Thing is that when both y'all draw your guns, one of y'all is going down. But like people here lately, like it doesn't matter if you carry, you can conceal carry, you could open carry here, and someone's still gonna run up on you. Like times is hard, so people don't care how you arm yourself or how you protect yourself. But if they want something you have, they're coming for it. That's the gun that what's his name the Bowery King gave John Wick. So 7 bullets, 7 million. I had to show my daughter the trailer to. Well, I found a YouTube video that showed a bunch of scary movies that's coming out this year, and I know one of them, well, two, three of them, she's gonna be very interested in. So, The Exorcist, which is rebooted, she's interested in that. Um, Evil Dead Rise. I know she'll be wanting to watch that because she's into those possession type movies. The Nun 2, the Meg 2. I don't even know how they have the Meg 2. And they killed both of them in the first movie. They killed the smaller one, and then they killed the bigger one that attacked the sub in the very beginning of the movie. Now there's supposed to be another Meg that's in the trench. Yeah, I know what you'll do to them. Wild West out. Yeah, it's just because everything is just so. I don't know, I'm not a fan of our current governor. I'm not. Some of the policies that she's doing, it just don't make sense. But like, yeah, stuff is getting harder out here, and so people are desperate. There was a dude that robbed the store and stayed to get caught, not because he was insane, but because he was just so tired of having to pay rent and pay all these other things. Like to him, going to jail gave him 3 hots in a cot. It was good. It was good. I'm just like, you put yourself in prison just so you don't have to deal with that type of stuff. Like that's crazy. Yeah, well, it makes sense to her agenda. I know right now there's an uproar in my city because April 6th. So a person who was convicted of murder back in, I want to say he was sentenced to execution in 1999 or 98. His execution is supposed to be done April 6th this year. And there are people who are upset because the governor is not wanting to carry out the execution and doesn't want it done under her term. And then her statement to the public is that they want to make sure they're not violating any of the offender's rights. Like you're talking about a case where the guy went to trial, was found guilty and convicted, and then sentenced to execution. What laws are we breaking by fulfilling that punishment by doing it? People have their thoughts on the death penalty and everything like that, and that's totally fine. You know, there was one person that is still sitting in death row from 1991 when they were convicted. They had brutally murdered a member of my wife's family, and yeah, that person's still sitting on death row. And that's how it is here. Like you can get the death penalty, but they're not going to carry it out as fast. Like you're going to live your life before they do the execution. I think it was in Texas. Um, there was a comedian named Ron White who talked about that. You have three witnesses that saw you commit murder and everything. Like you don't sit for years on death row. Like they fast track you through the death row system and do the execution. Not lying at all. I was telling my wife this the other day when we were just like laying in bed talking, and I don't know how the conversation got to that point, but like when I used to live in Longview, Texas, 2 houses up from where I lived, there was a young man that lived there. Um, I used to smoke cigarettes back then, so he would come around and ask for a cigarette and everything. But anyways, a friend of his, his good friend, the good friend's girlfriend went to a restaurant, and in that restaurant, a young man from a different high school worked there. It was his family's business, so he worked there after school. Nice kid, honor roll student, everything like that. He didn't know the girl had a boyfriend, and so he did what any young guy would do that sees a beautiful girl. He would strike up a conversation and see if she's available. She didn't say that she wasn't available, and so the young man asked her on a date. Well, word got back to her boyfriend that another dude asked her on a date, so the boyfriend wanted to hurt this kid, so they did a setup. Um, so my neighbor was to wait with a shotgun around, like, by the side of the house of where the girl lived at, and the girlfriend's boyfriend and her best friend was inside the house. The young man shows up in his car to pick her up to take her to the movies, and my neighbor comes out with a shotgun and holds it to him and forces him in the trunk of his own car. The boyfriend, the girl that was asked on the date, and her best friend all got in this young man's car, and they drove to White Oak, Texas, which is the next town over from Longview, where they stabbed the young man 76 times. They stabbed him to death. I thought it was a stupid crime. You know what I mean? Like, it was the dumbest thing in the world. You killed a guy that, I mean, yeah, he asked your girlfriend on a date. He didn't know that she had a boyfriend, you know? And they could, I don't know why they even set it up, But anyways, so my neighbor, the one that had the shotgun, he didn't participate in the stabbing. He just forced the kid into the trunk of his own car. So they all got busted because they were stupid to drive the vehicle and everything like that afterwards. And what happened to them was, so they got charged with capital murder in the state of Texas. The young man with the shotgun, even though he didn't participate in the stabbing, he's no longer alive. He was sentenced to death. And this was like way back in like 2004, 2005. And his execution was done in 2006. Yeah, I mean, it was just sad. I remember, like, for like years, the community kept talking about it on the news, and they kept bringing it up. They were following the trial. They found him guilty because the girl that was asked on a date and her best friend were under the age of 18. They were both given life in prison with no possible. The boyfriend got the death penalty, and my neighbor that pulled the shotgun, he also got the death penalty. They're both no longer with us anymore. Their execution was carried out in 2006. Yeah. Well, he was one of those knuckleheads because I used to see him running around the neighborhood, and he was always like, portraying himself as like this, gangster and everything like that. And I mean, I knew his cousin, and I told his cousin this, this one saying that my dad always told me, when you play in the rain, you better get prepared to get wet. If you're going to be about that life and live that life, you can't go and take a life and then think you're going to get away with it. It's not that easy to get away with it these days. Everybody's quick to post things on social media, and everybody's quick to talk. There's no loyalty among thieves anymore. Like, this whole no snitching clause it's just one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard, because as soon as a person goes down, they're willing to cut a deal to spare their life any years and to throw somebody else under the bus. It is what it is. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna call it a day for this Saturday live stream. Thanks for hanging out with me and just chilling and talking story. Hopefully that cleared up some of the stuff with the Boost Infinite thing, and just to let people know, like, it is what it is. We don't got to be like putting this gang mentality type stuff in the tech space. Your team Verizon, your team T-Mobile, like, that stuff is just corny as hell. Other people are going to do what they want to do, and let them do it. I've seen blood in, blood out. But nobody lives by that rule. Not even the most gangsterous person lives by that rule these days. So, but yeah, let people enjoy what they want. They're gonna stay with Boost Infinite, even though after the cyber attack, that's their right to, and ain't gonna kill you. You ain't gonna die. Your cheeseburger is still gonna taste like a cheeseburger tomorrow. Simple as that, right? If you have a non-pixel device and you have a Google One subscription, test out a Magic Eraser. It works now. You can use it on any Android device that's not a Pixel device. As long as you have Google One subscription, you'll be able to use the Magic Eraser feature. And you can do that on old photos and such too, and get rid of stuff in the background that you didn't like. So happy trails on editing those photos and stuff. It's awesome. Thank you for the 17 likes for those that have been in here. Thank you so much. That really helps out the channel. Appreciate it. And oh, I ate the steaks yesterday. Yeah, I enjoyed them. Today it's just it's lazy Saturday, so today's dinner really is like a oven baked chicken sandwich, sliced tomato, lettuce. I make my own aioli sauce to go on top of it with. I use pepper jack cheese. I like pepper jack cheese, but my missus likes provolone, so we have that with some barbecue chips. That's tonight's dinner. And I'm watching the old Batman movies because of the Flash movie that's coming out. Michael Keaton is Batman, so that's awesome. And yeah, so my kids don't understand that, so I've been showing them, like, we watched Batman with Jack Nicholson, then we watched Batman Returns. So now my oldest daughter wants to be Catwoman for Halloween, but that Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman, not any other version. And they watched Batman Forever. So we're gonna watch Batman and Robin later on today, and then we're gonna start with the Dark Knight series. So that way they kind of understand. How cool would it be if Christian Bale donned the bat suit and was the Dark Knight in the Flash movie? Because since it's different, different dimensions, right? Yeah, my oldest daughter was cracking up when the Joker went to the art museum to meet Vicky Vale. And he comes inside, and they're just playing that weird, crazy ass beat, and he's just dancing around, just starting to vandalize all the paintings and everything. She was cracking up from that. Jack Nicholson's Joker. So like each Joker has its own thing, right? I don't know. I was supposed to end this live stream, but now we just got into Batman. So Jack Nicholson's Joker is funny and psychotic, right? Heath Ledger's is like really demented and psycho. Not really so funny. Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, it was okay. It was okay. Heath Ledger, he won the Oscar, and that goes to tell you, like, what he did. I don't know if you guys saw the documentary of what he did to prepare for the Joker. But like, he isolated himself from society, locked himself in a hotel for like 30 days, watching all types of movies about different psycho killers and stuff like that. And then, of course, when he was on set for the Dark Knight movie, when they were recording it, a lot of people said that he would stay in makeup and in costume, and he would terrorize the production crew on set. Some of them were afraid. It just showed the level of like commitment that Heath Ledger had to bringing us the Joker that we got in The Dark Knight. So much, even the improv he did when he was locked in that prison cell, and Jim Gordon was promoted to commissioner, and he did that clap. Like, that was not scripted at all whatsoever. That he just did on his own, and it was so good that they kept that frame in the movie. That Batman put Bane over. Bad guys got to win to make the story interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Michael Keaton's Batman, that movie, it is creepy. I mean, but you know what? Like, Tim Burton. Tim Burton has a mind for these things. Because my daughter even picked up on it. She's like, the first Batman and Batman Returns, to her, she's like, it has a Nightmare Before Christmas feel to it. And I was like, well, Tim Burton's, the director of it. So all the things that we saw in Gotham City and everything, I mean, the way that it looked, just the colors throughout the city, um, off of his mind. Great job. The Joker was spooky, and now my kids are running around with the Joker's his saying. They like to stop and tell each other, "Tell me something. Did you ever dance with the devil by the pale moonlight?" And they keep telling each other that, and it's just like, stop it already, kids. You gotta like wear it out. Yeah, Vickyville was funny, especially at the end where the Joker shot Bruce Wayne, and then she turned around after the Joker left, and Bruce Wayne was gone. She opened the box, and the flowers popped up, and she just collapsed. I enjoyed the Gotham series. You know what? I never really got hooked on the Gotham series. Maybe I should give it another try. Oh gosh, no, I wouldn't tell it to anybody just because. I mean, it's the Joker's calling card, right? Like he said, he always liked the sound of it when he says it to his victims right before he kills them. So I don't want someone to think I'm about to kill him just by asking him that question. But yeah, the Flash movie seems very interesting, right? Um, my kids are slightly confused because they're like, Ben Affleck is in it as Bruce Wayne, as Batman, and I have to explain to them that Barry's about to cross dimensions and go into a dimension where his mom doesn't die, but he starts to really mess up the timelines. And obviously, they say it right, like he destroyed his present time, so the Justice League doesn't exist. Um, so yeah, there's all these different things that happen, right? Like rather than Superman being there, Superwoman's there in place. Of course, they meet Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne, and he's a lot older, but still uses that famous tagline, "I'm Batman." And the original Batmobile, my favorite Batmobile of all of them. I like the original one from Batman and Batman Returns. I did when I was 12. My mom bought me the Batmobile from Batman Forever, and I had that, and I don't know what happened to it. But I mean, it was nice, but I don't care too much for it. Like I do have the Batmobile from the latest the Batman movie, the one with the guy from Twilight. I got his Batmobile. Yeah. And he's sitting inside of it. And the door's open and such. Yeah. Yeah. So it lights up and everything. Yeah. Twilight Batman. Yeah. That's okay enough. It's gonna make sound for a little bit. Yeah. I don't know. I hope they never cast Robert. That's his name, Robert Pattinson. I hope they don't ever cast him again for Batman. I don't know if you guys followed the Batman movie being made, but like multiple times, like he had got scolded and nearly I think was fired off set because they wanted him to shred up to play the role of Bruce Wayne, and I don't know, he just did not stick to his regiment, his health regiment for the movie. And that's like, to me, honestly, like it's an honor to be approached to play the role of Bruce Wayne and Batman. Um, so if you're given that opportunity, like I'm not saying like he has to like bow down on all fours for Bruce Wayne and Batman, but understand it's a privilege and an honor to be given that role, to play that role in a movie. Because there's a lot of shoes to fill. Like I know some people don't like Christian Bale's Batman. I thought he did a pretty good job for the Dark Knight series, right? Because like that's what Batman and Spider-Man have in common. When you look, if you're really into comics, you'll remember this, right? Batman had different series of comics, including the Detective, right? This is where the name The Dark Knight comes from also, you know, different timeline. Same as Spider-Man. You have Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, and those are different universes. They're not all together. Movie was too long. Which movie? The Christian Bale's movie? Yeah, the I think it's just one of those things because like was it Christopher Nolan and the way that he explained it, he didn't want to continue on that series because they can. If you actually think about it, if they wanted to, if Christian Bale was up to the task and Christopher Nolan wanted to direct it again, they could bring back the Dark Knight series, right? Because there's the animated movies, The Dark Knight Returns. Yeah, I think so. With Ben Affleck's Batman, I really do want them to kind of emphasize and maybe even make a movie that kind of tells us how Robin was killed, right? Because when you watch, what was it, Batman versus Superman, we see Robin's suit in that glass casing with the ha 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 spray painted on the suit, right? Obviously referencing that the Joker killed Robin. Oh, Ben, I wasn't. I wasn't so much of a fan of Ben Affleck's portrayal of Bruce Wayne and Batman. Um, I felt he could have did better, but I'm giving him another shot though. Although it's cool to see that he's using the gray suit with the black bat symbol. Of course, you know the shorter ears on the cowl. But that bat suit would be the suit that Batman uses in the Dark Knight Returns. How many of you guys actually watched the Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2 on HBO Max? The director deserves the credit for the latest Batman. Well, I know Ben Affleck in the Batman movie. I know that Ben Affleck had he had a lot of input and everything like that. I'm sorry, I'm staring at these candies here, and these are like my favorite candy. These little cubed caramels. I don't know what it is about them. That or the butterscotch candy. Those ones. Liam Hemsworth could be Batman. I watched this really funny thing. I would love to see them remake Darkman. I don't know. When it comes to like older movies, I get scared of these production companies rebooting them, right? Like we almost got the Crow reboot with Jason Momoa playing Eric Draven. And no offense, like I like Jason Momoa as an action star, right? Like I think he did pretty good in the reboot of Conan. I did pretty good there. Of course, obviously, you know he was pretty cool as Aquaman. But like I've read the Crow comics when I was young, right? James O'Barr was like his imagination was awesome, and I think that they should have, if anything, if they want to make another Crow movie, I think one of my favorite versions of the Crow is the one with the woman who seeks revenge on the gang of thugs that killed her and her unborn child. She got mugged. She was pregnant, and the Crow brings her back for one night to allow her to get her revenge. And I'm just like, they should have made that into a movie. Like Jason Momoa is a cool action star. Like even when I saw like the leaked photos of him as Eric Draven with like the crow face. Now the crow face looked cool and everything, but I just don't see it. I just don't see him like doing that because Brandon Lee's portrayal of Eric Draven gave us the idea that Eric Draven was in the band called Hangman's Joe. You know, he was a guitarist, lead singer. He was also a martial artist. Because when he went after Tintin, blocking all those knife throws, man, and then the way that he fights, obviously you see, martial arts in his fights. They're not just like punching kicks from an action star. They're more from a martial artist. I don't see Jason Momoa in his build frame being able to execute things like that. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just an old prude that just can't let go of the past. I won't lump the Velma show into the Scooby franchise. But I'm not gonna not watch HBO Max just because of one show. There's a lot of dumb shows on HBO Max. But HBO Max supports the DC universe. They have a lot of the DC movies, so yeah, to me, Velma is such a stupid show. Hmm. Yeah, my daughter watches the Scooby Doo reboots, the ones with Crystal Cove and that interdimensional demon that wants to come back to life, and Professor Pericles is trying to revive it. Caramel's good. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go. I should have left earlier, but I got things to do. So, I'll see y'all later on this Wednesday. I'm doing another live stream. That's just because I'm going on a small vacation next weekend, so I won't be available. Okay, I'll check it out. The Nevers on HBO. Give it 2 episodes. Okay. Alrighty, guys. Y'all be cool. Love you guys very much and be safe out there. We'll see y'all on Wednesday.